Hello pilots! Today we are checking out the all-new release from Skynetic. It is in our mini line of aircraft. This is the Hawker Tempest 800mm, and we're going to get it out of the box today and get this thing assembled. It shouldn't take very long at all. These little Skynetic aircraft are just beautiful little planes that assemble super easy, and I think you're going to really enjoy this one. So without further ado, let's get this thing out of the box and start checking it out. All right, pilots, so our first step in the assembly process is going to be to get our main landing gear installed. What you'll notice is the gear are raked forward, so if you put them in the wrong way, you'll see that the gear is going to be raked the wrong direction. You want them towards the front of the aircraft, so this landing gear is going to go on this side, and the wheels face towards the inside of the aircraft. Once you get it where you want it, you just simply push them down and in. Let's grab the other side now and push that one down and in, like so. Then we're going to take one of our three little tiny screws here. You can see there's three of these in the kit, these little guys right here. One of them is going to go on each side of the landing gear. So we're going to take one on this side, then we're going to take one for the other side, and that's just going to hold those gear from pulling out. And that gets our wheels installed. We have the landing gear installed now. It's time to put these little missiles on. Now, you can use your white tube glue that comes in a lot of free wing and flight line aircraft, or if you'd like, you can use your Benchcraft CA. And I'm gonna use the thin, and a little of this goes a long way. So we're gonna hold our missile into the little holes, and then just give it a little drop of thin CA, and let that set up for a second. And then we're going to move on to the next one and go down the line, and we're going to put all 8 of these on at this point. All right, so at this point, let's set this aside and let this dry for about 5 minutes while we work on the fuselage. All right, pilots, so we moved the wing off to the side while it's drying, and we're going to get our elevator half installed now. What you'll notice is there is a ball link clevis installed on one side of the elevator. You need to make sure you slide the other end in, otherwise it won't go through because you'll hit that ball link clevis. So we're going to slide it in from this side over here, just like so. Now, take a little bit of time here to make sure you get this perfectly even. Looking down from the top is the easiest thing to do. And you'll see there's 2 panel lines that you just need to get in there evenly. Make sure it's even at the back. You'll also see this little spot right here needs to line up on both sides. Once we have what we want, the best way to do this to me is to take a little bit of your thin Benchcraft CA, hold the aircraft up on its side like this, and just run a little bit right there down that crack. And let that run down inside the aircraft. Now, I normally would recommend you actually do this from the bottom. That way you don't see the glue, but if you wanted to see, you can glue it from the top or the bottom. Same thing, we're gonna flip it over, hit that crack again, and let that glue run down inside there. And while we have it upside down, I'm gonna go on and do the other side as well. And that will let that glue go all up in there. Now make sure to kind of move your elevator also so there's no glue in that. And now we just need to set that aside for a few minutes and let our elevator dry. All right, pilots, at this point, all I've done is gone on ahead and installed a receiver into the aircraft. You need 4 channels total for this, so throttle, elevator, rudder, and ailerons. That's it. There is a yellow wire that comes off of the ESC. I plugged it in, it doesn't actually do anything right now, so just letting you know, if you don't plug that wire in, it's not gonna hurt anything. I left my JST up here where it's easy to get to, and then I took the included Y harness and just snaked that out the bottom, so when we go to put the wing on, it's down there already, and I bound the aircraft. All right, so at this point, we're gonna do our throttle calibration. In order to do one, make sure your throttle cut is off. Take your battery lead. Normally I recommend taking the prop off, but for right now, I'm gonna do this with the prop on. Put your throttle at full throttle. Plug in your battery and listen for 2 beeps. Once you hear the 2 beeps, pull your throttle stick down to 0. There it is, down to 0. And it arms. All right, pilots, now that we've finished our throttle calibration, it's time to get our control surfaces working. For this, we need to turn the aircraft over while it's powered, so you can see I can actually move the rudder right now. I have a throttle cut enabled so that my throttle can't run right now. And at this point, we can take a 1.5 Allen head, loosen off the connector inside on your arm of your servo. Right there. We're going to loosen that off. That way we can make the adjustment to the rudder and get it perfectly straight. Then we can grab the wheel and also get it straight. Now it's better you do this before you put the wing on so you don't have to take it off. Then we simply tighten that back up. And now you can see that that's perfectly straight, and if I give rudder, they both move together. Now we need to do the elevator servo. And that is as simple as grabbing our little push rod here and screwing it in until we get that straight. So it needs to go in quite a bit of distance. So I'm going to just screw that in. And just kind of hold it on there and check. You can see I still am not perfectly straight. Let's go in a few more turns. We'll check that now. There we go. So as you can see, that's perfectly lined up now. So if I snap that on, and sometimes these are difficult to get on one direction. If it's not pushing on easily, you might try rotating it one more turn. See if it snaps on any easier. All right, I'm gonna grab my ball link pliers. There we go, that was a lot easier. And if you haven't checked these out, these are the Benchcraft ball link pliers. As you saw, that just saves your fingers if you have those. There's this little spot right here that actually goes on the screw itself behind the ball link, and then you just pull it together and that squeezes it on. All right, pilots, now that we've put it on, we can also check to make sure our control surface is working. And as you can see, it moves good, and our rudder is clear also and working good. So at this point, we can rearrange it straight in front of us. We have that stand, and it's time to put our wing on. So we ran those 2 connectors up through the bottom of the wing. Remember, it's always white to yellow or white to white or yellow to yellow. White or yellow is your signal wire on all servo connections. That is standardized across all aircraft. But in this case, these are yellow servo leads. So we're going to take yellow to white here and connect them in. Yellow to white, just like so. We have the aircraft on, so we can give a quick control check. Yep, they're both moving. Now we need to take and put all our wires down inside that little cutout there and away from the edge of the wing here, because we don't want to pinch our wires. So we're going to just carefully put everything down in there. Look in from the back and make sure all our wires are in. And they are. So then we just simply push our little wing down, grab our big long bolt that's got the Phillips head on it, put that in from the bottom and tighten it up until the wing seats all the way. So pilots, at this point what we need to do is check our control directions. So if I pull up elevator, we should see the elevator go up. That's not good, we have it going down. So as simple as going in and doing a reverse now. That's the elevator. Now when I pull up, it goes up like it's supposed to. Now for the ailerons, if I go to the right, if I go to the left on my control input, the left aileron should go up. And it does. If I go to the right aileron should go up. And it does. Now the last thing is our rudder. So if I go to the left, I should see the rudder turn to the left. And I do. And the other way. All right, pilots, for my dual rates on the ailerons, I have 100% travel, which comes out to 10 millimeters with 20% expo. Then I have a cut of 8 millimeters with 20% expo. And the last cut I have is 5 millimeters with 20% expo. So for the elevator, and I'm sorry this is shaky, this is kind of hard to do this. It's such a small airplane, my gauge isn't actually clipping on. But I have 7 millimeters of travel for elevator in full rate with 20% expo. I have 5 millimeters of travel for my mid rate with 20% expo. And my low is 4 millimeters of travel. Now for the rudder, I'm not going to put the gauge on. I have 100% throw with 30% expo. And that just softens it when you're on the ground, because you can see that little wheel really has some movement to it. So if you're trying to ground steer it, it just helps to have that expo in there. All right, pilots, that gets our assembly video complete on the little Hawker Tempest. This is our 800mm line of models. And as you can see beside me, we also have the little A1 Skyraider available now. If you're seeing this video, these are available to order and ship straight to you. As always, never forget, whether it's air, land, or sea, you can get it from Motion RC. Hey, we'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.